Avatar fans got crazy news this past Comic-Con as Gameplay Group International announced that they are in production of an Avatar fighting game. Now, there have been Avatar: The Last Airbender games in the past, but none of them have really lived up to the standard that the series originally set in terms of quality. Now, will this game do that? Here's everything we know about Avatar Legends, the fighting game. First off, apparently that's a temporary title and they haven't decided if that's the final name yet, but so far what we know is that it's going to start off with 12 characters and then they will seasonally add new ones after that. This also has support characters that will be in the background and affecting the way that you fight, apparently, and these include characters like Appa, Naga, June, and May. And then of course, so far we have confirmed for as playable characters Aang, Katara, Zuko, and Korra. Just this past week, Gameplay Interactive announced that the game will be going into closed alpha playtesting, which is a good step forward. The game is slated for release in summer 2026. The game's summary on Steam reads like this. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, is a fighter rooted in the spirit of elemental mastery. Designed for both newcomers and veterans, it channels the energy of classic fighting games while breaking new ground in movement, style, and combat expression. Built with a focus on fluidity, responsiveness, and online integrity, the game invites players to discover what it truly means to fight with purpose. Hand-drawn in 2D, it is crafted to preserve the style and expressive animation of the original series. The art style does look extremely good and in fact very reminiscent of the original show and the shows that have come since, and in fact they say that the whole thing is a hand-drawn style, which should be interesting. This game is of course coming with online multiplayer and different single-player challenges, including different kinds of challenges and of course a narrative campaign, which should be interesting what goes on in that story. I think that this show, business-wise, comes at a very interesting time for the Avatar fan base. Fans of the original show who watched it growing up are now reaching into their upper 20s and early 30s, which means that those people are starting to have money and their own consoles and times to play those games, as well as children of their own. Of course, there have been at least one show and another coming since the original show, but I think that the main demographic this game is targeting is that original audience, as that is the group likely to actually want to play a classic fighting game. Like I said, the art style does look pretty good and pretty reminiscent of the shows that we have gotten so far, but some of the finishers we've seen, of which there have been one, and that was Korra's, doesn't look great. In my opinion, it looks pretty unfinished, and of course the game is in a pre-alpha build in these trailers that we're seeing, but I do hope that the finishers can be polished up a little bit more. This is a 2D game, right? It's a 2D fighter, but I do hope that these animations can get a little bit more depth and look a little bit better than they do in this trailer that we're seeing right now. This was the most recent trailer where they announced pre-alpha gameplay testing, and like I said, the combat looks pretty good, but when they hit that finisher, it really doesn't stack up to the rest of what the trailer is showing. Like I said, there will be a single-player narrative campaign, but I'm interested to see how they try and pull all these characters together. Obviously, there are ways to do it, and especially if this is a non-canonical game, which I assume it would be, it shouldn't be too difficult for them to do whatever they want with it. Based on the description of the game in the Steam page, it seems that a lot more focus is going to be placed on the gameplay of this game and the combat, which makes a lot of sense because it's a fighting game and that's what you're going to be spending the whole game doing. Some of the Avatar games that I have played haven't really had very engaging gameplay loops, and hopefully that can change in this upcoming Avatar game. I would of course be a rookie to fighting games. I've only played Tekken once, and I've played Injustice a couple times, but obviously I'm not good at them as I haven't played them a lot. I would be interested to play this game a considerable amount and see how I like the genre. I think that is going to be a common experience among people, as those games skew older and Avatar is, of course, still a kid's show. Whether or not it was made for children is debatable, but the main audience of the show as it was coming out and since then remains to be children, and this game will need to accommodate that fact. I would love to see some epic finishers, like I've said, but we don't need terrible, gory stuff, as that's not what this franchise is about. However, I do hope that the animations are smooth and look great. So all in all, I'm pretty excited for this new Avatar fighting game, but it remains to be seen how it will end up. And of course, lastly, the price. We don't have a price listed yet, but I am hoping that this game comes in a little bit cheaper, as it does not seem to be an extremely expensive game budget-wise. But like I said, I don't know how many copies you can expect to sell with a game like this, as while Avatar does have a big fan base, it's not huge, and fighting games themselves also are pretty niche. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game does business-wise and if it'll stay afloat for very long. Games that run in seasons around now tend to struggle. Star Wars Hunters being a prominent example for me, as I played and enjoyed that game, but as it was free to play, it didn't support itself and thus had to be canceled. It's very likely, I think, that this game suffers the same fate because yes, while there may be new characters entering the game, the probability that people will be dumping money into this game, I believe, is pretty low, as this seems like a pretty niche game in a pretty niche fan base. I've been Eyler for TrueView Radio, and I'll see you next time. Farewell, friends.